Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the live Q&A for Conan Without Borders, Ghana. Yes. Yeah, nobody ever clapped. We love to clap. For the next 30 minutes, we'll be taking your questions right here on YouTube. Also, we're on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. How's it going over there? With me today is Jose, Jessie Gaskell, Mike Sweeney, and of course, Conan O'Brien. Thanks, guys.
You didn't say Jose's last name.
Okay, Jose Arroyo. I feel like he's famous enough we don't have to say his name. It's a little bit different. We're backstage here at the show, and we have all these amazing props behind us from the Ghana episode. Guys, let's just start. How did this originally come about? Why did we go to Ghana?
Can I just point out up top, usually I'm critical of Blake for speaking too loudly.
That's right.
This time I actually think it may be justified.
Yes.
Because none of us are wearing microphones.
Right.
That's right.
And we're in a big empty space.
Giants.
So for the first time, Blake has found a room that fits the volume of his voice.
Your outdoor voice
Thank you.
is finally.
I pulled a lot of strings so that I could finally not get yelled at one time during a live Q&A. I pulled in a lot of favors for this. So, but yeah. So how did Ghana come about? I think everybody always asks where are we going next. So how did we choose Ghana?
Well, I will pass the ball to Mike Sweeney. Mike Sweeney was the one who I think you were the one that notified me that we had an official invitation. Is that correct?
We got invited. Jason Schlemi.
Louder!
Jason Schlemi, our field producer, got an invitation from the country of Ghana, from the government, to help commemorate Year of Return, which is a very important milestone this year. So, and then we just read, we've been wanting to go to Africa, and there's 56 countries in Africa, and it was daunting to decide where to go. This helped give us some direction, and the more we read about Ghana, it seemed like such a great place to visit.
Yeah, this gave us a reason to go. One of the things we really wanted to go to Africa, but we didn't want to do oh look, we're on a safari, and I'm wearing a pith helmet, and there's a lion. We actually wanted to go in some way that was meaningful and organic to what's happening right now. And so when we started reading about Ghana and Year of Return and the fact that so many people were going back to Ghana or going to Ghana for the first time to explore their roots and come to grips with this. And then we started reading about Ghana and finding out what an amazing country it is, and just what a success story Ghana has been. And culturally, economically, they have done such an incredible job, and we thought, this is a great story. Let's go and help, maybe try and put whatever small spotlight we have on this, but also let's find out what's going on. Yeah. And from the minute we landed, the people were very funny. They have a terrific sense of humor, and just natural improvisers. They were all very funny and willing to play along. And I think
we've all taken classes.
They've all been to Second City. It turns out there's a special rate if you're from Ghana because you're so good. And also just the comedy of most of them thinking that I was a sickly white woman just naturally was really funny right off the bat.
We actually have some questions from folks in Ghana. This one comes from Amaya Deborah, and she asked, what was the one biggest culture shock you experienced during your visit to Ghana? Jose? The
biggest culture shock was just discovering there was no single biggest culture shock. I'm having trouble answering the question because I really wasn't culture shocked, to be honest.
Can I just say something?
I did not feel.
Let me just get the word out right now. Jose was up very late last night.
This is not.
Jose is an alcoholic.
This is not true.
And Jose stumbled in about an hour ago.
You are. That is not true. You are not my enemy.
He can't.
You are my teacher.
He can't put two words together.
There was.
Yeah. He doesn't know what.
You know why? I'll tell you why there was not as big a culture shock, because the official language of Ghana is English, and so everybody at the hotel, everybody that we encountered spoke English, and of course, Twi and other language other language. Is another language that. But am I doing good?
You're great.
You're doing really great.
Point is,
You haven't Shoutouts, broadcast news, check it out.
Because English is the official language, I was able to defend myself very well there.
Yes, better there than here. Let me jump in. Let me jump in and mop this up a little bit. I found it to be, I spoke about this in the Q&A that we had with Sam Richardson after.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I found that really gave me pause, that I've been thinking about it a lot since, was the number of times that we would go out at night and I would look around and realize that maybe I'm the only white person here, or we're the only white people here, and it was this role reversal that did sort of, I don't know, awaken my sense of like how strange that must be to be the only person of your color that's in a situation, and I don't know.
It makes you a lot more aware of yourself.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, then we went to we went to a club one night, and I walked in first, and I was just really, I thought, oh, I'm understanding. I mean, not that I've tried to understand, but there's only so much you can understand, and then you get into a situation where, oh my God, this is what a lot of people in the United States live with every day.
Yeah.
And so that was a moment of sort of profound realization for me. And there was, but I have to say, I do agree with Jose in that answers don't have to make sense. Come on, that's funny. No, I agree with Jose that one of the things that it wasn't shocking, but it was amazing how everyone speaks English, and I think we appreciated right away. There's this disparity. You can be at a marketplace that really feels like it's 800 years old, and we're in this open marketplace, and it very much feels like you've gone to a different world. And then we would get back in our van and drive 2 minutes, and there was a Porsche dealership, and you realize that this is a country that's gone through an incredible transition, and there was so much about it that there was the unfamiliar, and then I think what was sometimes shocking was just how much of the familiar there was.
Yeah.
And someone actually shouted out to us at one point, "Hey, make sure you make the point that we all don't, live, in a jungle. Like,
Yes.
make the point." There's a guy in a business suit who I believe, just I don't know. He was on his way to his law firm, and he was just like, "This is one of the things that Ghanaians are really proud of, is how much they've accomplished."
Yeah, or William the gastrointestinologist, or gastroenterologist.
Yeah, not quite as cool as William the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Are you William the Conqueror? No, I am William the gastroenterologist.
4 years of study.
Exactly. Priz the Wizard on YouTube, at Joe. And will you use the
One of
coffee?
my favorite things is that since this thing, we brought it back with us. Since we brought it back, people are always chanting on the show, "Get in your coffee," which I think.
They were doing that before.
No, but it's something a little like, and it betrays my age. And instead of saying, "Okay, boomer," they'll say, "Get in your coffee." And I'm actually one of the people that can. It's beautiful, the workmanship. Look at this. Look at this fabric inside, and I fit neatly in here.
Well, I also made the
This
suggestion.
thing's on wheels. Someone say, Jose, make up for your earlier crimes. What am I doing? This is me getting into the coffin that was made for me by Pa Joe in Ghana. It's absolutely beautiful, and it perfectly captures my body proportions.
And this is the end of your second.
Yeah, we just have to make it so it locks from the outside, and I think we'll be fine. That's right.
I want a smaller version of that.
Yeah.
So that I can get cremated.
Jesse had a great idea about having them make urns.
Yeah, I think
What's
we
that?
should make a small version of that as an urn.
Well, I've always said
Not everyone wants to be buried.
that when I go, I want to be, I want my body, stripped naked and left in a field, so that civilians will find it and have I just want kids to be like playing and be like, "Ah!" And that way I live on in immortality because I scarred these children's lives. Sort of, my version of Stand By Me.
Well, moving on. JJ,
Moving on. No, moving on. I want to be upon my death. I want to be stripped naked and left in a field where children will find me. Moving on.
JJ No24 on Instagram said you look studly in the music video. You did something with Kwame Eugene.
Yeah.
And what were your feelings on that? He put you in a song.
Well, I'm going to throw this. I want Jessie was a witness to this, as was Jose. That we showed up, and I had a very casual approach to. I thought it would be funny if I couldn't really do the dance.
Yeah.
And it's a joke that I'm in this music video with these real dancers, professional dancers, professional musicians. So I thought it'd be kind of funny if I'll just show up, and instantly the choreographer was
Not having it.
up my ass saying, no, wait a minute, we're gonna get this right.
He's
And
like Bob Fosse. He was
He
really
was,
Yeah.
yes,
driving you.
yes, and it was hot. We were out on the street. It broke away,
Yeah.
to have you dance, and the choreographer just kept going through, and you kept repeating it.
When we were like,
40
wait,
minutes,
that's good
50
enough.
minutes. You were exhausted.
I was really tired, and the guy was like, again, do you have it? Left foot, and if I made the slightest mistake, he'd look at me like, come on, man.
Well,
And
the full disclosure was they had slotted a 2-hour period 2 days earlier to teach you the dance. And we're just like, fuck, God. We're just gonna learn it there.
louder, we need to be louder, except with our swears. I would do that. You and Jose are.
I didn't swear.
No, so I had to very quickly, and next time I think we should get better recording devices. And I'm never critical of my staff. Maybe microphones would be a good idea.
Perhaps.
But anyway, no one looking at me now. Everyone's on their phone. They're critical.
They were on their phone.
Yeah.
So you showed up, there was a crane, and there was a lot of dancers,
Yes.
and immediately it felt like you might have been a bit in over your head.
I was scared. I will say that. I was scared because I'm there and I'm in this on a real. They were very professional. They were all very good. I kept apologizing to these beautiful Canadian women, like, I'm sorry. I know you're all really good dancers, and they were like, come on, left foot, right foot, left foot.
They ended
Well,
around.
I was
They
gonna say
cut, they cut the video very well.
they released the whole video, and
Yes.
your dancing is very
Is-
good. I think they even did a second day of
Yes.
shoots.
But I think we should go back to the main question. Started with more of a comment, which is that I looked very studly.
That's right.
So let's
You
remember
had
that.
an amazing suit. You had a
No,
Ghanaian
that's
fabric.
my body. Why is everybody drifts away from, I look studly. That was because of what you
It
were
was
wearing.
lighting.
The lighting.
That's what you should be wearing when the children discover you.
Also, one of my favorite parts of the trip was,
Louder.
one of my favorite oh my God, did you actually tell me to be louder?
Yeah.
We have that on tape, right?
Well, they keep pulling up signs that say louder because no one got a microphone.
My favorite parts of the trip actually was we went straight from the Kwame Eugene video to, we went with Sam Richardson, and his family invited us to their house, and you actually kept that suit on because we didn't have any time to change when we went to eat a meal at his house. So
Yeah, so I was dressed like this rap star, this Ghanaian rap star when I showed up at Sam Richardson's family's home, and they must have thought, wait, what an asshole. That was for you, Sweeney. But no, I actually I think it was I looked very good.
You look
I
great.
believe, and
You wore it on the plane.
I wore it on the plane.
Those are handed out by the way.
Yes, exactly. And it was incredibly comfortable, and but I was I have to say, I have to give major props to Kwame Eugene and to everybody. Man, they're fantastic, and they went out of their way to make me look good, and if they can make me look good, they should all get Nobel Prizes.
Yes. By the way, one thing I found
Ah!
a bit of a culture shock was precisely how beautifully everyone dressed.
Yes.
And both patterns and colors, and it was lovely. It was
Yeah.
People were always
Yeah.
dressed up, even if I noticed women would be walking, and it's like, I don't know how far you have to walk to get to work, but wearing like the nicest dress that
I'm noticing, your little asides have to be projected. No, not you. I'm trying to talking to Sweeney, his habit of a little daggery, sort of a dark shirt, a gray sweater. We all look like we're depressed.
Yeah.
We all look like we're going through a depression, and then you go to these other countries, and Ghana is the best example so far, where they say, hey, we're here for a brief time on this planet, there's great colors and dyes, let's use them and celebrate life.
Actually, Pa Joe is watching on Instagram right
Hey,
now.
Pa Joe!
He says, great to see you entering into the coffin I made for you.
Yeah. Thank you, Pa Joe, for making my vessel that will take me to the next life.
So Conan obviously chose a coffin of himself to be buried in. What would you guys choose to have Pa Joe make a coffin for you?
Let's start with Jose.
I want a fish. I want a fish. I want to be buried in a tuna fish. What? A can?
So does
I'm
Dino.
sorry, Sona.
You heard it. You heard it, Pa Joe. He must be buried in a can
Not a can.
of sun-kissed albacore. Tuna fish. A can.
Okay.
In oil, not water.
We should move on.
Yes.
I'll say a Trojan horse, so then I can do an ambush on people in the afterlife.
Oh,
Very nice.
That's a great answer.
And now, Sweeney, I hope it's loud.
Steve Harvey's coffin.
You want to be inside?
Just a different color.
I see.
You want to be inside Steve Harvey. Wow. That makes two of us.
Yo. Let's talk for a moment about Sam Richardson. We brought Sam Richardson with us. We brought Sam Richardson with us. What does bringing someone like Sam add to the trip, both on camera and off?
Sam has roots in Ghana, and so it was perfect. I mean, he's this incredibly talented, funny, nice person, and the minute I had interviewed him on the show, but I didn't know him well, and I knew him from Detroiters and from Veep, but I didn't really know him as a person. And then we met him at the airport on our way to Ghana, and within seconds, he's the funniest guy in the room. He was cracking us up. He was being, and he's so relaxed, and it was just very nice to. When someone like me goes to a country like Ghana, it is important, I think, to have an emissary, someone who can tell me how they're feeling about the trip. What are they experiencing? What does this mean for them?
Yeah.
So it's not just me blithering and acting like a fool.
Yeah, like Stephen Young when we went to the DMZ.
Exactly.
Having family in Korea and
Yeah.
being able to speak.
Yeah, and sort of like when Flula Borg came with us to he's just a goofball.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite moments was in the market. We had stopped shooting. One camera happened to be on you guys, but the sound guy wasn't there, and you guys improvised in real time this little scene with Perk Choco and Perk milk chocolate, and it was in real time, and it was this perfect vignette, and we were so nervous when we came back because we discovered we weren't recording the sound, so there's all this market sound, but you could hear it. We boosted you the best we could, and it's such a great example of you two. And that was
Just
day
be
one.
yourselves.
Yeah.
The first thing we did, just
Right.
it's as if they'd been doing a team for like.
And guess what? The audio we had in that market better than the audio we have now.
Probably.
But
I'll
that was a
investigate
great
that on my
moment.
own.
That was a really good one.
No, it was, and you can see that's he's such a good yes-ander, as they say in improv, and has such really funny instincts, and was just a lovely guy to spend time with.
Yeah, and one of the, and like you mentioned, he's kind of descended from royalty. And so Jordan on YouTube asked, how was the experience of being in front of royalty? Who did we meet?
That was
Queen Mother.
Santa Hena, I think.
Santa Hema, yeah.
Yeah, Santa Hema, yeah.
In Kumasi, we traveled
Yeah.
to the cultural and the center of the Shanti.
Yeah, we flew inland a bit, I think.
Yeah, we flew,
An hour and
and that was that was a surreal moment. And again, I believe there was a lot of cultural shock.
In that case, there was.
Listen,
We had to give gifts.
don't drink before you come to
Honestly, this
but-
is be sober, I'm afraid, yeah.
But anyway, his choice to party hard last night, not mine. My point is that when we went and met with the royal family, that was, I've never experienced anything like that before. We're all nervous. We want to be good ambassadors from the United States.
Yeah.
As we're learning right now in the news, they don't do anything anyway. Giuliani went ahead. Extorted the royal family of Ghana. But anyway, we wanted to be good ambassadors, good citizens. We wanted to be respectful. And so I was nervous, and I think Sam was nervous too.
Yeah.
And we're in this room with tribal chiefs and the Queen Mother,
All of her.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was
her
really
court, and
It
we
was
did
very
ceremonial, and there was a lot of, we were told what gifts to bring, and so we brought these gifts, and it was all, us trying to be on our best behavior. And then the one thing that was really crazy is in the corner of the room, you can't see it on TV, there's a television, a flat screen television. So it's this very formal ceremonial environment. In the corner, there's a flat screen television on, and it's showing soccer, I think, either soccer or rugby, something like that. And sometimes the local news, but it's just something that would be on in a sports bar. And so I would notice every now and then that the Chiefs would be listening to us saying while we're here, and then their eyes would drift over and be like, oh good, we scored a point,
Kind of like our team right now.
Yeah. So that was really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing I noticed in that room was the Queen Mother has a woman. She's very mature. She's, I don't know, maybe in her 80s.
50s.
Yeah, but she has to shake people's hands all day. So she has a woman who goes and actually holds her elbow up so that she doesn't have to do all the work.
That'll be me on this. That'll be me on the late night show in 5 years. Our next guest is Matt Damon, and Andy will pick up my arm and go like that, and then he'll move my mouth. Hello, Matt Damon.
And you can't speak directly to the Queen.
Oh,
You
yes.
speak to her second, who then
speaks
possibly.
But yeah, it was. I believe that's the first time in any of our travel shows that we've encountered royalty.
Yes.
I believe it is.
Yeah, I believe so. That's amazing. Also, I want to give a shout out to coolpeeps.com, who are, that's a Ghana blog, and they're watching now. They say they loved what you did with Kwame Eugene.
Oh, great.
There you go.
Oh, great.
There
Well,
you go.
listen,
Is that
don't
song
give.
blowing up there?
I don't know. Cool Peeps, is that song blowing up? Tell us. Tell us in the chat.
Yeah.
Come on, Cool Peeps.
Tell us in the chat.
I know, that's all respect goes to Kwame Eugene. He, if anything, I got in the way, but I want to thank the people of Ghana and Kwame Eugene and Rex for being so patient with me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And one thing I thought that was fantastic on the show was you and Sam went to Nana McBrown. She has a very famous show in Ghana called McBrown's Kitchen. How did we find McBrown?
We just researched local shows there.
Yeah.
I mean, we always do. We kind of deep dive on what's popular in the country, and that show came up as a popular cooking show, and we've never done something like that on a travel show, so it seemed like a good fit.
Yeah, and it was.
But we were there a
And
while.
she's a big personality.
Yeah.
She's hilarious. Yeah.
She is a force of nature, and I've worked with Martha Stewart.
Right.
I've worked with many people that are powerful personalities and cyclones and energy and commanding, and I don't know anybody who can hold a candle to that
She
woman.
was terrific.
She was fantastic, and she's very, very charismatic, and it was actually, that segment was actually kind of easy because there was no thinking involved. She told me, do this, do that. By the way, these stools provided by.
She never does the show in English, so
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, that's way down on her list of languages. She's like, English.
And then
but it didn't
oh
seem
yeah,
to slow
you
her
never
down.
know that. And
No.
then everywhere else we drove in Accra, everywhere there was giant billboards of her. Her face was everywhere. Like I'd go to bed at night and a giant poster of her looking at me like, I know you, and I'd be like, ah, and close the.
For many different products.
Never the same product. Yeah.
Kanye follows on Instagram asks, what was your favorite local dish? You made a jollof with
That stuff is good.
Yeah.
Jollof is really good. Jollof is man jollof is good. The chicken.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would have to papaya chicken. Shout out to papaya chicken. That
I'm
is,
just hoping they'll send us some free chicken.
I'll tell you this, that is one of our favorite restaurants now in the world. And people say like, oh, but you've been to Italy and you've been to, you had sushi in Japan, and you're like, yeah, man, we lost our minds for that chicken, and we became addicts for it. And when we would find out that, oh, they just got some more and it's on the bus, we would start rocking the bus. The driver inside would be like, have to pass it out the window.
That's right. Jessie, you got a little obsessed with something in Ghana. Do you want to kind of confess what that was?
Yeah, it was the Cheeto pepper hot sauce.
Yeah.
Which I shout out to we've been doing all shout outs this whole time. Our fixer, Lady May.
Lady May.
Yeah,
She
Lady
came to
May.
the screening. Hi, Lady May. She came for this when we screened the Ghana show, and she brought me more Cheeto pepper
she did?
sauce.
Yeah.
She did.
Oh,
Well, because I would never share it.
Lady May did such a lovely job of helping put all of this together, and then she came to Los Angeles for the screening, and she was there for the screening, and I think she had she was there for the, when we taped the show with an audience, when we showed it to an audience. Then when it aired, I think she had a watching party.
She did.
Yeah.
150 people right in
In
Accra,
Accra.
and they sent us all these great photos.
I saw those photos, it's amazing.
Her parents went to another screening, and she's when we say fixer, she's like our local producer.
Yes.
And every country we go to, Jason Shalemi hooks up. Like he'll talk to 2 or 3 people, and he always just on the phone zeroes in on one person, and he has an unerring sense of who to pick. She was one of our all-time favorites. She was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Quado on YouTube, who is in Ghana, says they really loved what we did there. So
that's
yeah,
nice.
there we go.
We're very happy that you liked it, and thank you for really to the people of Ghana for being so gracious to us, allowing us to come and being just wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and sharing your culture with us. That was an honor, a real honor for us.
Yeah, and we're almost out of time, but Arette Clay on Instagram asked the question that everyone always asks: where next? Where are we going next?
We want to conquer the United States.
We have our eyes on Fort Lauderdale. Pretty much Florida. Anywhere in the Panhandle would be great.
Do you want to go cold? Do you want to go hot? Do you want to go any?
We're not. These things are a little bit subject. There's a lot of. It can happen one of 2 ways. Sometimes obviously we have a bunch of places that we have in mind. We can't disclose those yet. But then sometimes something will come up. The Greenland show happened within. The president announced he might want to buy Greenland, and we were there, I think, 3 days later, kicking the tires on the deal. So you never know. You never know where we will go next.
It's up to Trump.
Yeah, which means Ukraine.
Haiti was because of.
Mexico was because of Trump. So we're
He's
just
our
waiting.
travel agent.
Yeah, we're waiting him to have these mini strokes or something, and then we end up. Here we go to the Bering Straits.
Exactly. Were you guys? We've been to how many? What episode of Conan Without Borders is this? Is this 14?
13.
I'm gonna guess it's 15.
15, but
Wait, is that right?
13.
13. So we have got a lot of stamps on the passport. Were you guys well traveled before starting Conan Without Borders? How is
Not
this?
like this.
Yeah.
I thought I was pretty well traveled, but this has really upped my game. And with any luck, knock wood, we get to keep going. We just meaning I hope that we get to do this for quite a while, because it's just it really is a labor of love. It's one of the most exciting in a long career of things that I've been excited about. It's hard to match going to these other countries and trying to do improvisational comedy with people that often don't speak the language, or where I'm always the odd man out, is really fun. It's really great.
Yeah, and is there any country you would go back to that we've traveled?
Oh, there are plenty we would go back to. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
for
I don't.
fun?
Yeah, fun.
Ghana,
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
I go back to
Oh,
Ghana.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd go back to Armenia. I really had a good time in Armenia, and I'd like to
Armenia,
take
yeah.
Sona back to the house there where she was born. So
Yes.
that was incredible.
That's right. Also, Ashley on YouTube says
I said I wasn't born there.
So no, I'm no proud you were born
Just
there.
play along.
No.
people on YouTube want to see you.
along?
Sona, just pop out here. People on YouTube want to see you.
Isn't this almost
Say good. We're almost done anyway. We're
God.
just
Now
say
this is a
hello.
woman who's not afraid of color.
There we go. There we go. Yay, Sona. She did it. All right.
Wait, I'm not striking you. My hands are above my head.
Well, thank you guys for joining us
Metase,
for the live
metase.
the live Q&A Conan Without Borders Ghana. You
Sorry
can
about
watch
the audio and Jose's thing, but bye.
That's right. Watch the show. Watch behind the scenes and everything we did at teamcoco.com/Ghana. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.